Hello Scorpio, Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is your summer solstice solar eclipse reading. This can drift out up to 6 months, please do bear that in mind. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus at a stretch, and we are on Scorpio. I'll read your oracle card now, Scorpio, but in a nutshell, I think this is someone who is very much coming out of a relationship and needs to speak that that's what they want. The Lantern Fairy, a clear solution. This sweet fairy is showing you a way through a barrier you have reached in your life. This may be in an area of your life, but it does feel that you have come up against a very solid obstacle. The wall is coming down. This is the fairy's role, to help you move beyond the wall. Trust her, she will guide you. Something has come to an end, a true end, and you have, as they say, hit the wall. You could try digging under it or climbing over it, or you could try taking down the wall brick by brick. But if you follow me, I can show you a place where the wall has already come down and where you can move through this obstacle without pain. A way through a life challenge will present itself. Stubborn thinking can be changed. Old patterns are being removed little by little, but will need trust. Old shielding against certain energies need to be replaced and reworked, as it is no longer in line with what you wish for, and in fact may be proving to be a barrier which is keeping you isolated instead of protected. Avoid all that comes from anger, hatred, judgment, blame, and ridicule. Okay, so this is a specific spread with specific questions. Crikey, it's a little bit hot there. And the first one up is a success you will enjoy during this solar eclipse. Adjacent possibilities with the Hierophant. So there are options out there, Scorpio. I honestly do feel that I'm reading for someone who needs to end the relationship. Your intention, which will make more sense, is to seek some sort of balance with a broken relationship, or someone that you've broken up with, someone you're currently trying to divorce, and just trying to, like, you know, tidy up the loose ends. Who gets the kids, when you get the kids, how we divvy up the house, the maintenance, alimony, that sort of thing. It's trying to be fair in a situation that has really reached an end, and a clear solution is going to be presented, and that's the success you will enjoy. So the Hierophant is about your commitment, it's about your marriage, your philosophy, its structure, it's the church. I mean, it may be, if it's not a marriage, you are sort of like considering other options here, realizing there are other options. Maybe you've been brought up in one religion and it's been, like, you know, hammered into you from a young age, and you're now seeing there are other possibilities, and you're, you know, exploring. But there are other options for you, and that's what this summer solstice solar eclipse, 0 degrees of Cancer, is going to bring in for you. And in your third position, what you should avoid is being attached, and the attachment is to the Chariot. The Chariot is usually considered a success card, but it is also Ares, the god of war, and this has been attached to conflict. This has been attached to I'm right, you're wrong, this is good, this is evil. There, you know, there's too much polarity oftentimes in the Chariot card, and it's been attached to being right. You know, that's really not how a resolution is going to be reached. It's almost saying that in this divorce, this separation, there are alternatives, options to reach some sort of compromise here. I do feel that Scorpio I'm speaking for is somebody that really does need to speak up, though. I think they're bottling a lot of stuff up, and you're very much being guided in this reading to, you know, almost have a bit of a blowout, because it's not healthy. You know, if you've got stuff like all stuck in your throat chakra that you won't say, you're going to start getting like all sorts of infections and whatnot. So in this combination, what you should avoid, firstly, it's an attachment to, you know, anything that's unhealthy, and this There could be a bit of ego in here. The Chariot's a very egoistic card, and this is removing your own self mask. So this is like looking at yourself carefully, checking your own motives, making sure that it's not a case of I just want to win regardless. It's a very much a card of change and conflict with the 5, and the 7 is, you know, it's a difficult card as well. So in terms of what you should avoid, it's obviously attaching yourself to any sort of aggression. And I think, didn't that card literally just say that? Hang on. Avoid all that comes from anger, hatred, judgment, blame, and ridicule. Yes, this is what you need to avoid. That's it. That's what you need to avoid. So just avoid it. Yeah, easy peasy. And in your 1, 2, 3, hang on. Yes. 4. A challenge I will soon face. So now we heal. Now we move into healing zone. The door to healing and happiness. My God, I love this card so much. And it is about your marriage. So you're now sort of moving into the recovery period. And honestly, that can take a very long time. It just depends on your nature. For some people, it can take a matter of months. For some, it can take a decade. It's just, it's a process. And this is the challenge you're now having to recover from, or at some point, bear in mind this goes into 6 months, so you're now looking to heal from that. You may seek out some sort of therapy, it may just be personal healing. I honestly sort of get that there may be, I mean, you're listening to tarot, so you may be sort of like, you know, considering your upbringing, your philosophies, your beliefs, etc. And with the helpful resource, it is in fact the door to spirit with the star. So you may even be looking at different religions, just different philosophies, as I say. It may be that, you know, there's just something that has opened your eyes, made you think that there's other stuff out there, and what you've maybe been following your whole life suddenly doesn't really make sense anymore. And the star is very much about following the North Star, having a little, you know, glimmer of truth, something that resonates with you, and you just try and hone in on that and start developing it and start researching it. But there is something here, and it may well be that you have got someone in mind, Scorpio, when your marriage is finally over and you've resolved everything that you would like to pursue. But if it's not that, it is literally, this is where your healing lies, and it is through spirit. It is reconnecting with spirit, with your soul, whatever that means for you, you know, God, Jesus, Catholic Church, Jenny from the block, whatever it means for you. There is some sort of guidance here that you may well be receiving. In fact, it is something that will come your way that's going to move you towards your purpose. It does come with the Emperor, which I find interesting. So it could be masculine, but it can also be, he can represent anything to do with authority here. So this could be your priest or a rabbi or a vicar. It does feel quite sort of like religious, you know. You've gone through something traumatic. You're sort of floundering around and looking for where I go next. The Hierophant is very much about the church as well, and looking at alternatives to maybe the church that you've been brought up with, the religion that you have been, you know, conditioned to receive. So there's a feeling of sort of expanding our options here. And just, you know, learning and looking at options here. Just be very careful, you know. I mean, yeah, I'm not much into organized religion, but that's just personal. In that, if you are in a bit of a bad spot and, you know, you're feeling a bit low, you've got to watch out for these guys, you know, the ones with all the answers. Yeah, you're the saviors. Not saying it's like a fake messiah or anything like that. I just think it very much comes from within your own spirituality, your own beliefs come from within. And the ones that you'll recognize that really truly resonate with you are the ones that you were absolutely not brought up with, but you have always resonated with. Think about that. So just be careful. There is like a shining light, a guiding light here. The Emperor just seems a little bit structured, given that you've got adjacent possibilities with the Hierophant, who's also about structure, ordinance, orthodoxy, and now we've got the Emperor. So, you know, come up with your own solutions in terms of what you follow, but, you know, all I'm saying is, you know, I'm not saying frying pan into the fire here, but if you're in a bad spot and if you're struggling, and if you've just come out of a marriage and, you know, broken free from something, you may be looking for something to latch onto, and the very fact you're looking for that can make you a little bit vulnerable. So in your sixth position, an effective way to raise your vibration. Now with this combination, it's very much to have a bit of a blowout. The Page of Swords is about communication and truth, and there's a storm warning. So if there's an argument you've been avoiding, if a conversation you've been avoiding, and I am getting that because indeed your special message is around the fifth chakra, your throat chakra, you need to speak, Scorpio. You need to speak. Say what you want to say, to whom you want to say it to, and stop bottling it up. You're in a position here, I think, where there's no love in a relationship anymore. You want a divorce. Something's not fair. You're not happy. You're not happy. The Page of Wands, and you want a separation. Three of Swords. You want to break up. You want to end the pain, but it needs to come from you. Yeah. This is basically how to raise your vibration, how to get you on your path. Have a blowout, speak your mind. And the special message from the universe is this combination as well, which is Archangel Gabriel. Is it Gabriel? No. Yeah, sorry. I always mix up Raphael and Gabriel, and I feel really bad about it. Speak. Speak about your, you know, the fact you need to recover from something. Speak about, I mean, this is a message that you're getting through, but it's all about self-expression. You're not expressing yourself. You're not spitting it out. The Four of Swords is very much about being in recovery. This is my PTSD card. This is sleeping, but never being comfortably asleep. And the very fact that you're able to speak this, you're able to break free of this, is going to release you from this. The Eight of Swords in reverse is going to release you from your own mental imprisonment, because your head, your mind, can only be expressed through the throat chakra. Otherwise, all those thoughts just spin around and regurgitate and go in horrible mind loops for, you know, not just your life, but maybe multiple lives. And the very fact you can speak, I don't know if it's your heart. I'm not getting heart. Speak your mind. Get it out of your freaking mind and into your throat and just blurt it out. It's going to give you immense freedom. And then you can have a wee chill pill with your wee Four of Swords here. So, I mean, it is a really succinct reading. The base of the deck, I do have the Door to Value and the Empress here. This is like a possibility. If you are to follow this kind of guidance, you know, leave the church you're involved in, leave the relationship, leave the marriage, speak your heart, your mind. This is abundance. And it's not just freedom, it's reconnection to like Mother Earth, to creativity, to having everything flow again. Everything that's been blocked and heavy is just wiped away because you're just able to say what you want to say. Scorpio, that is your reading for the eclipse. It is in Cancer. bloody hate anything to do with Cancer. No disrespect to Cancer, but it doesn't sit well with me. It's in my 6th house. You know, and it is incredibly emotional. It can sort of suggest a lot of, you know, a lot of stuff's going to come up at 0 degrees. So speak it out, get it out of your system, and a clear solution will present itself to you. Good luck, Scorpio. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.